to my favorite part of the day, which is going through some of the cash I've had for over the last few days and seeing if we find anything that's collectible or worth more than face value. So let's go through this little mini adventure together, and I'll show you what to look for. And I don't know, let's do it. Cool, let's go. Let's get right into it. Series 2013 $5 note. One digit away from a broken ladder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no 7, 8. If we would have had the 7 in there, I would have held on to it, even though it's like real beat up. But I love broken ladder and ladder notes and kind of special serial numbers. Those are always good to keep an eye out for. Hey, kind of cool. 2003, pre the redesign. I think this was the last year before they redesigned the 10s, which I saw one of them somewhere in the stack. We'll get to that in a minute. Kind of cool. I wish the 0 and 8 in the beginning of the serial number were flip-flop, because then it'd be August 18th, 17, 16, which would be kind of cool for like a little date note kind of deal, even though the US didn't exist formally yet. Folded up, kind of cool. You can see all the differences in it and current $10 banknotes. Same depictions on the front and back of Hamilton and the U.S. Treasury. I kind of like this depiction a little more. But anyhow, let me know what you think between the old bills and the new bills, but nothing jumping out at me on this one. Since this one starts with some zeros, things to keep an eye out are low serial numbers. I generally like to keep something that has 4 zeros or more. Preferably where there's only 3 digits in it, though, or less. The lower the serial number, the more valuable it can be above face value to the right collector. Nothing really jumping out on the back. Keep an eye around any part that has kind of heavy detail. 045242. Lots of 4s going on, lots of zeros. It would have been cool if it was able to be read forward and backward, backward and forward. Backward 2, 4, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So if the digits were a little bit different in the middle here, that would have been really cool, since it starts with 0, 4 and then 4, 0 on the end. Those are known as radar notes. Nothing jumping out there. 2017 A, ton of those made. Nothing in the serial number on this one as far as like collectible pattern or anything like that. A little bit of shift in the seal. It should be sitting a little bit more centered on the word 1, but it's not enough for it to be worth anything over face value, and I didn't see much going on in the back of it. Typically, when I see things print-wise at the back, so like this is a wet ink transfer from another note, or it's just kind of heavy printing where you can see it through the back. If it's obscuring like a whole portion of this part of the note, or if you can see, in this case, Washington almost entirely or an outline of him, I've known people who have sold those for, a few bucks over face value. So I guess those are something to keep an eye out for. Some 3s, some 7s. 2017 A, also, like I had mentioned, a huge amount of them printed. Yeah, beat up on the back. For a second, I was like, ooh, we got some missing ink or something, but this is all folded up, so it looks like just damage. Moving right along, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then if we had either a 1 or a 9 on there, we would have had another broken ladder note. That would have been kind of cool. I know a lot of people have commented, oh, broken ladders, they're a minor fancy serial number, they're not worth anything, and I would agree they're not worth much, but anything, they're worth $1. No, but I believe they are worth. I've seen them sell for a few bucks more than face value on a couple Facebook groups, as well as like eBay. Nothing going on there. Serial number wise, starts with a nice year, 1985, but most people are going to want month, day, then year. Nothing on the back of that one either. Here's that 10 I saw peeking out earlier. And in reference to the old one, you can see the differences in them. Let's show that. I think I got that one right here. Oops, knocking over my stack. So, you got the older $10 note, newer $10 note, back of the note. For the, well, let's show the old one first. We saw that one earlier, U.S. Treasury. So it's the same depiction. I don't know. I feel like the previous one had better, I don't know. It's just better detail to me. What do you think? Same depiction, you know. A little bit, maybe a hair larger on this one. Doesn't have the border to it. Same as the depiction of the president. Nothing in the serial number. Nicely printed. A little bit folded up, but not bad. I like to keep an eye out for like excess ink and stuff like that in these areas where the watermark is. I don't know if it's going to be able to show up in this camera light, but anyhow, nothing there. 2017A, another one, really beat up. So like any collectible, you know, condition is 9/10 of the law. I'll zoom in a little bit. It's like anything, you know, the more beat up something is, generally speaking, the less it's going to be worth. And in the case of money, it's hard to tell if anything is, you know, an error or misprint or anything like that due to the damage of this note. So kind of condition. 2017, 2017A are large runs. Nothing in the serial number. I guess conversely to the one with a bunch of zeros, you should look for serial numbers that are really high. You can go on websites, I guess mine, you know, varietyerrors.com, but you can also go on like My Currency Collection. You can go on the BEP's website. It'll tell you how many bills were printed and what, you know, obviously the first serial number, which is generally 1, and then what the ending serial number is. You can kind of compare to what you got. A couple of nice 5s in there, 2s. Printed nice and straight, so nothing going on really. One thing, you know, mentioning that, one thing I did notice with this 10 is it is sitting a bit high. Now, if it was like running the edge of where the cut is, I would definitely hold on to it. But it just being kind of shifted up is not something to hold on to. But I just wanted to mention that since I happened to notice it. Anyhow. $5 note, little bit of wetting transfer. It's just from when they cut them and then they kind of stack them quickly. They're a little wet still sometimes. Hey, I had mentioned earlier, you want really month, day, and then year, but this is still kind of nice. 1957. 0404, so April 4th, 1957. Kind of cool. I mean, it is a date note. Let me know what you think about that. Do you like it to be does it have to be month, day, then year? Or would you consider this a good one? I like this one a lot. I like also that it's 0404 on the end, but I really like it a lot. It's not bad condition, a little bit of, you know, being banged up on the portrait there, but it doesn't have any big folds like we've seen in this bill search, and so it's not bad minus this little corner fold that I'll straighten out, but kind of a cool date note. I'm going to hold on to it. Why not? Nice little 1957-04-04. But let me know in the comments if you think that that's an out-of-order date note, or if you would hold on to it as well. Nothing going on there. Nothing much. You can kind of see Washington a little bit more there, too. But I was looking at that great seal. I thought we had a little issue. Kind of some damage, some sort of weird crud that's on this note. And nothing on the back. Down to the last 2. Thanks for joining me on the adventure so far. We'll run through these real quick. Let me put it down and stop messing around with it so you can actually see. Nothing in the serial number. 2013 note. I don't see anything off on the front of it. Same little wedding transfer dealio. Kind of looks like a little thumbprint. Little bit of discoloration here. Little discoloration there. Little fold there. Otherwise, solid dollar bill. And last but not least, 2017A $10 note. Nicely printed. I don't see anything off on it, really. Probably one of the better condition notes of the entire bill search. Back of the note, same old trusty depiction of the U.S. Treasury. Nothing really jumping out. I like to keep an eye out where all these repetitious 10s are. They're an anti-counterfeiting measure. Sometimes there's little misprints with those. where they're kind of smudged or off, but U.S. currency goes through a multi-phase printing process, so some things are printed on the note, some in the note, so some things have a little more aptitude for error. Anyway, what do we hold on to? Kind of a quasi-date note. I think it's a date note, but you can let me know if you disagree with that. But 1957, April 4th of 1957. Let me knock my camera over real quick. Not a big find. I wouldn't say it's worth more than $1, but it is kind of collectible. Let me know what you've come across in your coin and banknote searches lately in the comments. I love reading about it. I'll see you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Boom chicka mama chilla mama chilla. 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 Boom chicka mama chilla.